Yes, Your Worship.
Yes. Afternoon, my lord.
Good afternoon, Lord. Yes. You saw yourself in it.
I, Jacob Mafume.
Who is this gentleman?
Oh,
You.
okay.
Yeah. Saw yourself in first, Jacob Mafume.
Yes. Okay.
Saw yourself in first.
Okay. I, Jacob Mafume, do hereby swear to tell the truth, nothing but the truth, so help me God.
Yes, thank you.
In terms of the Commissions of Inquiries Act, I understand, my lord, I'm allowed to have a legal practitioner present. I have decided and will make the request to the Commission that I exercise that right. And with me here is Mr. Jeremiah Bamu.
Mr.
Jeremiah Bamu.
Oh, Jeremiah Bam.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
He's the registered.
I don't register. It's a lawyer is, to me. You don't have to prove a lot of things, because you have to be a serious criminal to come and pretend that you are not. So there's no need for him to.
Indeed, my lord.
Right. You remember, I placed on record that I actually advised you to seek legal representation, at least for you to be in the fair side.
I took your advice seriously.
Right, fine. Is he going to be whispering things to you?
Is that allowed?
Yes, he's a lawyer. Otherwise, what will he be doing here?
Yes, he's going to be whispering things and writing notes.
Yes, fine.
If I may, and any other that he feels necessary and is permissible within the...
Is he in a position to... Do you want to expose yourself to cross-examination at some stage? No, I'm joking. You're not part of the proceedings. You are not part of the proceedings. Yeah, there's no need for him to take an oath because it's you. Yes, fine. There's an objection somewhere. Yeah.
No, it's not an objection, but submissions. In that, in taking into account the august nature of these proceedings, and taking into account that he will be giving legal advice in this particular situation, as opposed to a court of law, where perhaps he has to do the main talking and asking of questions. I think that it is important that the oath, even if it's not going to be cross-examined, is administered to him, so that if there is any advice that is given which then comes through his client, I see no harm in that, but it protects the integrity even of the information that is passed between them.
Yes.
I see no harm.
Fine. Yeah, thank you. What is your view?
my lord, I think that would be irregular to get legal advice on oath. I mean, how do we characterize that legal advice? To say that what law is advising is the truth and nothing but the truth. I mean, that would be an onerous bar to place on any legal practitioner. In my 24 years of practice, I've never come across a legal practitioner who swears on oath to give legal advice to their client.
But before I rule, what is... Yes.
In terms of the evidence, general rules of evidence, my Honorable Chair, I do not see the relevance of the legal practitioner's presence in giving information to the witness. The witness should be allowed to give evidence from their own memory. If he's sitting there in an advisory role, then when conferred by the client, that's when he can speak to his client. But in terms of taking oath, I don't see any provisions in the general rules of evidence which are very persuasive to these proceedings, my lord. I don't think it is necessary for him, the lawyer, to take oath.
Right, fine. Let me hear from both. Mr. Poffa, add something to it, that's all right?
If you look at the provisions relating to this particular scenario we have here, it is not an automatic right that he has a lawyer. It is one that this commission grants. And let me say from the outset that I'm in agreement with that right being granted to him. That's not the issue. But therein lies the difference between ordinary provision of legal advice and the permissiveness of a legal advisor allowed to sit in with the client. There is a distinction. Now, I'm saying that we are not aware of the exact nature of the advice that is going to be proffered to the to the witness. And as we have seen in the past, and as has been practiced here, we do have officers that advise persons giving evidence, which may relate to actual events having happened and how they may be interpreted, as opposed to strict legal advice relating to the law and not advice on the facts as they happen. Then so be it, but I'm saying for the integrity of the commission's work, it is important, it covers him as well, because his advice may not be limited to issues strictly to do with the law. But perhaps they know better. If that is what they are saying and is going to be providing strict legal advice, nothing to do with the actual proceedings as they happened, then he is safe not to take the oath. But the point that I wanted to make is that this is distinguishable from a court of law, because if you look at the Act, this right to bring a lawyer is not one that automatically exists as in a court of law, whereby it is a constitutional right of any accused person or any person appearing to have a lawyer represent. But that's my point. If the lawyer, let me not waste, let's make it moot. If the lawyer is of the view that he doesn't want to take the oath, it will be strictly gather advice in terms of certain, then we leave it there.
Right, because you are beginning to say something.
Nothing safe to say that it may not be necessary for the lawyer to take oath.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, fine.
In that case, let me leave it at that.
Right. Do you have a right to respond?
They seem to agree with me that he should not take oath.
To a certain extent.
Yes.
Right, fine. But let me make it clear. I conferred with my learned friend in that respect. You see, a lawyer. I see you are recording. Are you ready to record?
Yes.
Right, fine. Do you want me to raise my voice so that you should tape me?
It's fine. I can.
Oh, all right, fine. A lawyer is an officer of the court. Upon admission, a lawyer swears that he'll be allegiance to the Constitution and also to the laws of the country. That is what makes him a lawyer, a registered legal practitioner, that is, as opposed to any other lawyer. Your advocate, Bamu?
Yes.
Yeah. Advocate Bamu, the fact that you took an oath when you're being admitted, it binds your conscience to be truthful. We shall not ask you to take an oath. You can sit in there. But bear in mind that what the witness is going to be telling us is a factual issue. There is no way he's going to be asked about the legality of this and that, which when a lawyer comes in to interpret the law. You are talking to us or telling us about factual positions. In the event that you want to respond, maybe to say, should I answer this question or not, that is when perhaps he will come in and assist you. But I want to place on record that I insisted that consider having a lawyer because of that particular issue, which was now bordering on the possibility of contravening the Inquiry Act. That is why I said you should bring him in, because that is now going to legal issues. But factual issues, I have no problem with that. We have no problem with that doing so. And for the record, there's no need for an office. His conscience is bound by the oath of office he took when he was being admitted. Right. Sorry? You're okay with that? But Mr. Bamu, it's not right for you to be stifled. Maybe we will not want to address.
No, my lord, the court has taken the words out of my mouth. I was only going to say Section 17 permits the appearance, contrary to what my colleague was addressing.
It's fine. Right. I hear a lot about... right, fine. Thank you. Right, let's continue. He has taken oath already.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you.
We're continuing with the evidence.
Welcome, Jacob Mafume.
Thank you.
When we adjourned, we had a brief discussion pertaining to developments at house number 9 Sky Master in Belvedere.
Yes.
Just to refresh you, you confirm that you did not apply to the city of Harare for change of use?
Yes, for change of use, I haven't applied.
You did not advertise in the press as is the norm?
For change of use, I didn't follow all the processes for change of use as yet.
That will also follow that there was no approval by the relevant committee of that development. There was no resolution to approve that, as is the practice.
The processes for change of use have not yet been done.
Okay. Thank you.
So, in other words, question is, they have not been done, so they have not been approved.
Yes.
Okay. So, you undertook an approved development, therefore?
You know, the plans for the current buildings have been approved.
No, the plan for the house was approved, Jacob
Yes.
Mafume, yes.
Yes.
There was a massive deviation, alteration of the plan, because there's a witness who went to house number Sky Master. What is on this plan is not what is on the ground. You confirm that?
Yes, but when we
Yes.
when we left this, my lord, I need one clarification. When we left, the prosecutor announced.
I'm not a prosecutor.
The evidence leader announced that this was a forgery. Now that has damaged the reputation not only as a mayor, but also as an officer of the court.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
I
understand that. I was going to go to that aspect of what is going on at the end of this. We're going to deal with that at the end of the evidence.
At the end, we're going
There are
to
certain issues
because
which I want to raise.
Yes.
But as of now, let us look at what has been said. There's a witness here who said what he has said now, that construction, that is alteration of the use, has not been approved.
Yes, the change of use has not been approved. And
Yes, fine. So let us deal with those facts
Yes.
first.
Oh, okay. I just wanted
The rest, yes. No, I understand we are going
really-
to. It has touched on all of us, but we'll deal with it at the end.
Yes.
You understand, Ms. Mafume? It's your right to raise it, but let us deal with this issue.
Yes,
then
I
we'll
do
go.
understand, but my lord, he is a legal practitioner like myself, as you are. He has a way of announcing certain facts from the bar. The first fact when I presented this paper, immediately said this is a forgery.
No, if you may,
Then
if that is not the truth, the forgery was in relation to the signatures, of which we are still asserting that this was a forged process. And
You
I'm
are
going to
referring to what
suggest that
happened the last time. Last time we were here.
yes, the last time.
All right, no, that's fine.
Yeah.
That's all right.
Chair,
Yeah.
I wish to interject. and assist the commission with a proposal that maybe Mr. Mafume could park this issue for a while, whilst our recorders go back to the record on the date in question, so we speak from the evidence of the proceedings rather than this allegation going against the other, so that we can verify whether our evidence presenter indeed said such, because all these proceedings are under recording. That's why you saw me insisting on getting this gadget.
Right, no,
so
that's
this
fine.
issue can be clarified, and I was going to propose that we go to today's issues, then maybe after an adjournment we can play the recording.
Yeah, fine.
Thank you, Chair.
Mr. Mafume, let us go into evidence. If there are any other issues you picked up, we'll deal with them later on. But may I hasten to add that we have to treat each other with respect and dignity.
Yes.
But we must ask questions and answer questions at the same time.
Yes.
Right.
Thank you. My question is very simple. There is a massive deviation, massive alteration of the plan on the ground. Correct? Yes or no?
I have not been notified of the alterations.
But look at the two.
At the two
Yeah.
plans.
First plan,
Yes.
which was the residence, that is.
In fact, Honorable Chair, the plans are more or less the same, but
Right, fine,
this
okay.
one was being kept by the
Yeah, no, that's fine.
the office, and
let's-
this one was in position
there's no need for plans. Let's just have a factual issue.
Yes.
When it's on record that 9 Sky Master was originally a residence, right? Individual residence, that's the mayor's, that is Jacob Mafume's place of residence.
A place of
But later on, you then changed this, in your own words, into your boarding house,
Yes.
right? That is the alterations he is referring to.
Okay, yes.
So there has been a massive deviation from an individual raising house into a boarding house, which is now commercial.
Yes.
Do you agree?
Yes.
For instance, all these bedrooms that are no longer there, we now have smaller rooms. The kitchen is no longer there. Everything. We now have smaller rooms amounting to 60 rooms. Is that not correct? Is it not common cause?
60 rooms.
Yes.
I'm not aware of the numbers of the rooms,
Okay, but we now have smaller rooms.
probably, but I doubt.
We can go for inspection, if you want.
Yeah, no,
We can go with this plan.
Yeah, we can go for an inspection and look. I'm not aware of the numbers of the rooms. That's a fact. I'm not aware.
But there have been alterations from a residential to commercial.
Yes, there have been alterations, but I'm not aware as to the exact numbers of
Yeah,
the
okay,
rooms.
fine.
So you approved the alterations? Because your intention is to house students from Yiti University. Is that not correct?
Well, I don't personally approve alterations. The approval is done at the city council, which we have not yet applied for.
But this is what you had wanted, to alter from residential into commercial.
Yes, that's what I want.
So it was your desire to go
It's
commercial.
a desire to go commercial.
Yeah, fine. Yes, please.
So all those alterations, they are not in terms of the bylaws, council bylaws, because you haven't sought approval.
Yes, we haven't sought approval.
So that is wrongful.
The council bylaws allow for,
That is wrongful.
the council bylaws
If you may answer
allow
the question,
for
Mafume.
regularization.
Yeah, but for you to regularize, you are regularizing wrong.
So it's
To be
not
wrong,
wrongful.
to be wrong, then you regularize, isn't it?
An anomaly, yes.
Yes. Fine. That's the question of semantics, isn't it?
Yes.
Right, fine.
So, Jacob Mafume, you are at the apex of the city of Harare. You confirm that as the mayor?
Well, I am.
Yes. You need not doubt that.
No, I'm not doubting. I am at the apex.
Your mayor doing an unapproved development Is it what you want this commission to believe? Doing an approved development as it is here.
The development can be regularized,
No.
and it is within the law to regularize the development.
Why did you initiate a wrongful development in the first place? Why did you do that? Why did you not seek for an approval? This is what we expect from laymen, some other people who are not lawyers, who are not in the employment of the council, who are not mayors, ordinary persons, not from the mayor, doing unapproved developments.
And the question?
What? Well, yeah, it looks like I'm not
No,
paying
no,
attention.
just no. Let's not be a bit on the emotional side. Let's just put questions.
Yes.
Because
Let's put questions.
Yes, I'm just
no, that's
emphasizing.
fine. That's fine. Mr. Mafume, the question you are asked, the question you are being asked is, why did you do this? You carried out some alterations pending regularization.
yes, we submitted the plans. We submitted the plans to the city council. The intention is to then turn it into a boarding house.
It's not fine, I understand.
Yes.
Why then did you start allowing construction before approval of the change of use? It was approved.
My understanding, and in terms of the practical issues on the ground, because sometimes a construction takes a bit of time.
Okay.
You can start constructing, is it a shopping mall, a hotel? And at some point, as you are about to begin the process, you can then make an application for the change of use.
Yeah, fine. Okay, right. Another question?
Is actually, in fact, according to the evidence, even the boundaries were even altered. The boundaries, they were altered.
The boundaries
Yes.
of the stand.
Yes, they were even, all of the house plan, they were even altered. And you, what is your comment?
That has not been notified. If you give the plan to the inspector, because you must remember there's an architect and a builder. If they miss the boundaries, there will be an annotation on the plan that this boundary has been missed and that it has to be corrected by this manner. And I'm sure if there has been a deviation from a boundary or a wall that should be there, or the height or the width is incorrect, that is a technical issue which can be addressed.
Okay. Right.
But it hasn't been notified.
You are aware that you have a policy of even some legal structures, I've seen them being destroyed. So, is that correct?
Those that are not able to be regularized, yes?
Even those which were built without even approval, we have seen them being destroyed.
There are structures that can be regularized. Those won't be destroyed. The council officers, they will advise you that if you follow this regularization process, your structure will not be destroyed. Then there are other structures that cannot be regularized. Those will be destroyed. So there are two processes in council. One, you can do a structure, you regularize it, it is not destroyed. Mm-hmm. You do another structure which is incapable of being regularized. It can then be demolished, or you'll be asked to alter it to the extent.
I will put it to that you abused your position. That is why you just constructed these frames without any approval.
I submitted the plans for the approval, and these are the plans.
Yes, the house was approved, but yes, the demarcations, the deviations were not approved. You admitted it, that Jacob Mafume.
Yes, what is the extent of the deviations? If it's about the perimeter wall, then it is a material demarcation.
Perimeter wall?
Or the perimeter. If it's
rooms?
If it's about the rooms can be expanded if they've become too small. But if we are talking, because the material issue about a plan are the perimeter walls.
Mm-hmm. Right, any questions, Mr. Wase?
Okay, no issues for now. Let me hand over to my sister for a few questions on another important area.
You want your sister to start before your brother?
Yeah, my sister has not spoken
Right,
for a long
okay.
time.
All right, fine. Let's have your sister then.
Thank you, Mayor Mafume, for appearing before the commission.
Thank you.
Yes,
for asking us
I'll
to
take
come.
you through a few questions where I need clarity from your office. I have concerns which were raised by the Auditor General in 2018
Yes.
concerning the disclaimers which were issued in terms of the audits of the council.
Yes.
You are aware of those?
Yes, I am aware of those.
One of the major concerns was the issue of overstaffing at the council.
Yes.
Is that true?
Yes, it is true.
What is the situation now? How many employees do you have at council, if you are aware of it?
Yes, we have. We are just under 10,000. We are supposed to have an establishment of 12,000, but the actual situation on the ground is just below 10,000, 9,000 and something.
But what had caused the blown up proportions in 2018 up to the period of 2020, when the ministry then wrote a letter of concern for you to rationalize the staff? What was the cause?
The cause at that particular time, if I'm made to understand, was because we came in 2018, and when we inquired as to why there were so many staff members and whether we needed them, we were told a number of reasons, but one of the reasons is that our operations are too manual. There's very limited mechanization in the part. We have so many general hands in terms of drainage cleaners, sweepers, refuse collections, the road department for potholes. They are not relying on mechanization. There's over-reliance on the actual people themselves.
So you laid them off, do you confirm?
We laid off some of the workers.
And paid some of their benefits?
Some of the workers?
Yes.
Yeah, some were laid off. A number of measures, I'm sure, were then adopted. Early retirements for those that had reached retirement age. Those that wanted to opt out would go out. It required a cocktail of measures.
So were you in office when the council borrowed a total sum of 32,500 to pay off some of the gratuities?
I was not made aware of that. Which year was that?
2018.
Which month?
I have not been given the month, but this is the auditor's report that I'm going through.
I was not yet in office.
When did you assume office?
So how much is the figure there?
32,500.
I came into council 2018 as a councillor. Then I became a mayor in 2018, 2019, 2020. Is it? Yeah.
2018, 2019, 2020, you were now a mayor.
I was not a mayor during that period.
2018, 2019, 2020.
Yes.
So when did you assume the role of mayor?
The first recalls were done in 2020. I was the mayor in 2020, the end of 2020. It was the end of 2020.
End of 2020.
Yes.
Okay. Up to date. Can you confirm? With
yes.
with the bit of
I was there
in
was
and out. We
a
know
lot of
that
turbulence,
phase. Yes,
but,
we know. We know.
But
We are aware of that.
okay.
Okay. Then in terms of human resources or human capital, who is the person who's supposed to employ members of the executive in council?
Who is the person who is supposed to employ members of the executive?
Yes.
It's there are various members of the executive.
But is it your mandate to employ
The-
yourself as a mayor? Do
No.
you have a mandate to employ any grade into office
No, there's no mandate. All employment is done through committees.
through committees?
Yes.
Correct. I want to take you to an office where we have received evidence that you created a post for one Mr. Kashangura, whom you call the strategist for council.
Or
How was Kashangura employed?
Kashangura is not an employee of council, he's an engineer. Kashangura came in during the time when I was out of office.
Sorry, can you wait?
Yes.
You said he's an engineer for council.
No. He's an
Yes.
engineer. He's quite a renowned engineer.
So-
he's an electrical engineer.
Okay.
He is a consultant. He has worked immensely with CESA and many other.
Yes, can you hold on?
Yeah.
So in what capacity does he appear at the council? We hear he is reporting for duty.
No.
And his post can you allow me to finish? He appears in some council meetings, I'll give you the dates, as a strategist. So my question was, who gave him the description of strategist
Okay, let me
for council?
Let me explain the Kashangura issue in detail. When the mayor, Ian Makoni, came into office, he wanted to do a strategic analysis of the organization through the council, as a council as a whole.
Correct.
So he was not, I don't know what evidence said.
So under what terms?
Then under the terms that
Which terms? Was he a consultant
he was
or an engineer like you have described?
He volunteered. He didn't get paid from council. He doesn't get paid from council. He had a relationship with Councillor Ian Makoni. Councillor Ian Makoni comes from the corporate sector, and the council agreed with Mayor Makoni that we could have him as a strategic advisor, but not as an employee of council.
So are you confirming that Kashangura comes in and out of council every day for no remuneration?
Not every day. He's a consultant. He comes
Or
for no
on the
remuneration.
yes, or
Yes,
on
he
the
comes for
occasions he
no-
does. He comes for no remuneration.
No remuneration at all. He has no post. It was just to advise the mayor on strategic turnaround.
Yes,
To be
correct.
able- yes.
That was Makoni's era. But when you came, you adopted Kashangura as who?
When I came, he came to my office and said, "This is the work I have done." He has interviewed council on strategy. I asked him, "Are we paying you?" He said, "No, we are not paying it." He's got a very massive report, which is very useful.
So you keep him under which terms?
Under my, he's finished. He's finished. I didn't keep him. When
Yes,
I came in,
during your tenure, during the time that he was working, under which terms did you keep him? As a volunteer, as a consultant, or as a, I don't know what we
didn't
can call
alter
it?
the terms that he had come in. I must hasten to add.
Where are they written, the terms?
There should be a council resolution if the commission.
Were you part of this committee?
No, I
Which
wasn't
resolved?
part,
Because we have received evidence that you then proposed that Kashangura should be paid what is called an appreciation. So we wanted to get to understand what term of engagement is that, which pays an appreciation.
No,
Because we are going to produce the minutes, they are on their way from your townhouse.
Yes.
Where you requested for an appreciation for one Kashangura, being a strategist.
Yeah.
What was that, Ms.
The-
Mafume?
the-
Can you just explain? Allow me to finish,
Yes.
and then you can then respond.
Okay.
And I'm sure you will respond adequately if you allow me to finish.
Yes.
So when it was proposed in that committee that you pay one Mr. Kashangura an appreciation, under which terms of employment, consultancy was that? Can you just explain to us?
I believe when we appreciate.
No, firstly, let's get this.
Under which
Step
terms?
by step.
Yes.
Is he still in your office?
No, he's not.
At that particular moment, was he employed? Was he coming in as a strategist?
When he was coming in.
Yes.
Yeah, he came
After
in.
Ian Makoni, did you retain him as a strategist?
Yeah, after Ian Makoni, I allowed him
Right, fine.
to finish his report.
Right.
That's what I'm just asking
Right.
now.
And then this issue about appreciation.
I'm not the one who proposed.
No.
Yeah.
But is it, was it paid some stress?
No, it was not paid.
Did anyone propose?
Yeah, I'm sure they are proposed an appreciation.
The
but
minutes will show that, as Ms. Mushumba said.
yeah, the minutes will
Yes,
show that
they
there
will show
was a
that.
proposal. But the council's, the appreciation of efforts is not necessarily.
No. We're not getting that in there first. We're talking about
Appreciation, it's not figures.
Kasangura.
But do you confirm that the appreciation was proposed in that meeting?
Yes, there was a proposal of an appreciation.
Under which terms? That was my question. Was it a consultancy term, a volunteer term?
No, what would then happen once there's a proposal like that? It will then go to the, because it will go to the secretariat for, in that case, if there are meetings, to the chamber secretary.
No, we hear that. But her question is, under what circumstances? Under what circumstances? You talked about two terms. Under what terms was
There are
this
no-
operation going to take?
There was really no terms. It was just a proposal by, if I'm to understand it, it's just one councillor. When you are holding council
Yes,
meeting,
no, that's fine. But her question still remains unanswered.
Yes, it remains unanswered.
he is a volunteer. There's no appreciation that.
So how are you going to account for the appreciation fees of a one Kashangura?
I doubt
Who's
they
a
were going
volunteer?
to. We never paid any fees. No, we were intending to pay any fees. Because
So your intention to pay, you say it was never granted?
maybe the terms of the question. One, when you narrow down an appreciation into a figure, then it would be helpful if there was a proposal of a particular figure that is there on record, or because appreciation in terms of council
Yes.
it takes many shapes. It's sometimes
In what form? That is what I'm asking
if
you
we-
that you are failing to answer.
okay.
What form was the appreciation going to be conveyed to one Kashangura, this volunteer, this famous engineer?
Just hold on.
In what form?
You see, this is where we are having some serious legal issues. now.
Yes.
We are being asked this very simple question. It's a fact. It's coming in, unless if you want to give evidence as well on the facts.
Judge, if I may, if I understood her question directly, she is asking in what form the request was
Yes.
given. And the only advice I was giving him is to say, if you are the one who made that request, you need to know that specific term, and that's what
No,
you need to
but
understand.
then the problem comes in. That should come from me. I should be able to say, answer the question, etc., because it's on facts.
All right.
I was
If
just-
he doesn't know, he should say, no, I don't know. If he does, he knows, he'll tell us.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was precisely
We don't
my
want
intervention.
to start getting into situations where the credibility is going to be questioned. Otherwise, so far, it's going so well.
I hear you, Judge.
Yeah.
and I follow.
It's a very thin dividing line.
Okay.
Let's
My
not overstep.
intervention was clearly on whether the question was fair or not, but I take guidance from.
No,
what you
the
said.
fairness or not, let that be directed by myself. I'm alive to
that.
unfairness, and he has to be treated like any other person's, given a fair share of questions and answer honestly. That is all.
Yes, we may proceed.
Yes, fine, thank you.
Okay.
Let me again do this. The problem is, if you are going to elaborate and think ahead of questions,
Oh, okay.
the question that has been labored or belabored by Ms. Shumba is that we now know that someone proposed this appreciation fee. And what form was it going to take?
We had not taken advice on that. The proposal did not formulate
Right, fine.
any.
Was this appreciation fee ever paid?
No.
Right. Yes, Ms. Shumba.
Yes, let's continue. Was the post or the duties you were giving Kashangura part of the city council organogram?
He didn't work for council. He didn't execute any duties, from my understanding. He had no post. He had no duties.
But he would report to town house on occasions.
He would come to to investigate what he needed for the
And
So
who
you,
was he
the
reporting
answer then is you would come to state,
Yes.
Yes.
not state house, but the town house.
townhouse.
And who would
I'm
he
not
report
yet
to?
there.
And who would he report to?
Yeah.
Who would he report to?
He would not report to anyone, as far as I'm aware, certainly not to me. What he would do was to go, he would work with the town clerk, as he was then, go department by department, do evaluations, and
are
come
you-
up with...
Yes, correct.
Right,
So are you trying to tell me that you are having this freelance engineer roving in the offices of the townhouse without anyone's authority, without
No, yeah, the
reporting to
authority.
whose authority?
The authority of council, Mayor, I indicated that Mayor Ian Makoni.
But he left and then you came in. So what you are avoiding is to admit that he was also under your authority. Is that so?
He's done tremendous work.
No,
If
please
you look-
answer the question. Was he also working
Let's follow
under
this,
your
let's,
authority?
just hold on, Mr. Let's follow this logically. He was once under Ian Makoni.
Yes.
He was
That's fine.
controlling and demanding, asking or cajoling him to do certain things, and he was responding.
Well, the nature of the work was not like you would then report to the mayor. It was more to come up with a consolidated report, not to execute any duties.
And submit
Right.
to who the
Right.
report?
To the mayor, then
Yeah.
submits to council.
That's fine.
Exactly.
If the mayor didn't want him, you would have asked him to leave.
Yes.
Is that correct? Yeah, Ian Makoni.
If he didn't want him, he would have then have gone back to council.
Yeah.
Because, yeah.
With a view of getting him out.
Yeah.
Right. If you didn't like him, you would have done the same.
Yeah. I
Right,
would have done
And
the
so you
Let's
also
move.
allowed him during that tenure until he left to do or to continue with what he was doing?
Yes.
So would I be wrong if I said he reported to you, to council through you?
Yes, he did.
That's
report
what
to
you should have said long back, council. You
So
are a
he
legal
reports
practitioner.
to you through council.
Why
He
are we
reported-
wasting time?
And the town clerk, yeah.
Yes. Is there no business strategist or officer at the council
A
who's
business-
already, yes, a business strategist? Do you not have a business strategist for council who is employed
We have
full time?
a business strategist.
Whose name? Can you give us the name?
She's, well, I know your first name, Tsitsi.
No, she's the manager for the business unit. But we are also aware that you have what is called a strategy and grants manager. What is his name?
A strategy and grants manager.
Yes,
Is a gentleman.
yes.
I
Whose mandate is exactly the same as that which was being executed by this freelance engineer.
well, he has not given
Do you
us
know Mr. Jablan Due?
Jablan Due.
Yes, ever heard of him?
I know of a Due, but he's not, I thought he worked in HR or human resources.
He is
No,
not.
his name, Jabulan Du.
Jablan
Jablan
Due, do you
Due.
know him?
No, I don't know him.
We have received evidence that there is a strategy and grants manager whose name is Jablan Due. He reports for duty every day.
OJB.
Yes. So we now wonder what this Kashangura was doing when there is someone who's occupying the post.
I've never seen a report from that Jabulani Due. I don't know him.
Yes.
He has never presented to my office.
Or is it that you never cared to know about him since you were biased towards your Kashangura?
No, we have 10,000 employees, but if there was someone producing a strategy for the council at that level, will certainly be a person who should be talking to us regularly. He has not presented to us any strategy.
You are just not aware of the existence of this manager because
Yeah,
you
I've
never
not.
cared to. When you go back, go and ask for one of the council employees called Jablan Due.
I'll ask for him.
Yes, and he works at the Strategy and Grants Department, and their role is to produce strategies for council. So we are wondering why this Kashangura continued even during your tenure and what his purpose was.
We can submit the report that he did to the commission.
Yes.
It was submitted to council. It is one of the best reports I've read.
Don't judge it.
Yeah, but we'll
You are being
submit it.
Right, another
subjective.
question?
Yes.
The question is,
So I'll also ask the reason why this famous freelance engineer was present in a full council meeting of the 1st of October 2024. Why-
was he in there?
Yes, the mayor was in that meeting. And this Kashangura guy was part of a full council meeting of the 1st of October 2022.
Right, just hold on. Do you recall whether he was in?
Yes, I recall. We invited him in to present.
What
his
was
report.
special about his presence when he's not an employee of council, not a councillor, not on any remuneration, he's just an engineer?
The council,
Does-
the council meeting is my meeting. I am at liberty to invite.
So we are asking you, what was
Anybody.
special
just hold
about
on.
this?
Allow him to answer
Yes.
the question, please.
I have the discretion to invite
Yes.
anyone into the council meeting.
What was his role on
His
the
role on
present
that
day?
particular day was to present the findings of his report.
And when you invite presenters, do they sit where the executive sits or in the gallery? Because
No, just hold on.
Yes.
Get
Where do they
that
sit?
answered.
What is the position where they sit?
They sit wherever I say they sit. If it's a priest, he sits by my side to pray for us, right in front, notwithstanding that he is not a council member. If you look at the council, we call priest every council meeting. It is a tradition to call a priest to pray for us. He sits where just below where I sit.
So on the day in question, sorry.
If it's sorry
Sorry to interject because. So where did he sit on this day in
in the
question?
council chambers. If I invite you,
No, answer the question.
he
Yes.
said he said where the executives were sitting, or I don't recall where he said precisely. I'll have to, but everything is on video. But when we asked him to come to present, he then presented.
Yeah, fine.
As an expert, he sat together with council. Okay.
It's my meeting. It's just like this commission. It's the chairman's meeting.
I get you. Who is Mr. Mugobobo?
Mr. Mgobogobo is the
Mgobogobo.
acting IT manager.
Who?
Oh, I found him there. He was at council.
Is he still with council?
Yes, yes.
Who did he replace?
Um,
Are you aware?
Yeah. I forgot his name. The then IT manager.
Samson Madzoki.
Yes, Matsukere.
What happened to Samson Madzoki?
Samson Matsukere was suspended.
Who pushed for his suspension?
The HR committee.
We have received evidence that you influenced the suspension of Samson Madzoke because he was resisting to adhere to your demands to have Quell re-engaged for the BIQ. How true is that?
That is false. Quell Associates or BIQ, there is an order from the Auditor General that they be brought into council to look for lost 200 million.
Yes, is there no weight on that
No,
one?
let me explain this because
I will not allow you.
No.
It's not part of my question.
But you're saying it is part of your question.
No, you said you didn't force it.
You said I want to
You
bring
said
back
it's HR.
Quell Associates. There's been an order by the Auditor General that we bring back Quell Associates.
So in other words, you did not bring him back. It was not because of you.
It was not because of me.
Right, that's the answer.
Yes, so we'll go ahead with our questions. Thank you for remaining within the ambit of my questions. Is there no procurement unit which is responsible for the procurement of the BIQ at the city?
It is there.
And you confirm it's functional?
It is functional. There are people there.
So why are you so interested in the procurement of this BIQ to an extent that you even went yourself with your briefcase to press to follow the procurement process?
One, there was an order from the Auditor General.
Did you go to press?
Did you
Yes, I
go
did
to
go to
press?
press.
Carrying a briefcase?
No, I didn't carry a briefcase. I will give you the genesis.
All right, but did you go to press?
Yes, I did go to press.
Who accompanied you?
The whole, the town clerk, the finance chair, the town clerk, the procurement people, the whole.
That is not correct. You were never accompanied by the procurement people, because we have a report from PRAS, which we can share with you, that they then cautioned you on the relevance of the procurement unit in terms of the Public Finance Management Act.
No,
that they are the ones who were responsible for following up on the procurement and not yourself as the mayor.
The question
is that
then,
true?
No, that's all right. The question then is, when you went there, did they caution you?
No, we had a very productive meeting.
Right, fine. Next question.
But did they agree to your terms? Because you had gone in with a proposal to directly engage Quell.
Yes.
Instead of following the bidding process.
Yes, they've agreed to our terms. We've got a letter from the ministry to procure directly from
Sorry, maybe the events are different. I'm talking about the events of May, when they had not waived the resolution which spoke the Special Procurement Management Unit had recommended.
If you allow me to explain briefly the procurement of the BIQ systems and its genesis.
We are aware of those. We will not allow you.
We're going round and round in circles.
Who is going round in circles?
Our budget at that time, the minister wrote to me and said that he is not approving the budget because we had not complied with the 10-point plan of the president, and also the fact that we had not yet engaged in ERP.
But was it your duty? Sorry, Mr. Mafume, I'll cut you. Was it your duty to follow up on the procurement process?
We were then given a deadline.
No, Chair. Kindly assist me for witness to remain focused on the questions directed to him. I asked him a clear question on whether it was his mandate to follow up on the procurement process of a BIQ when there is a functional procurement unit.
May I ask you to listen very carefully to questions and answer questions which are asked of you. If there's a need for anyone to have you expand on those questions, we will do so.
I play an oversight role on all things.
But do you understand?
Yes, I do understand.
Right, fine.
Yes.
From now on, just learn to answer questions. If there anything you want to add, we'll ask you to add.
Okay.
Right, fine.
Was it your mandate, or as a mayor, is it your mandate to follow up on the procurement processes of a BIQ when there is a functional procurement department?
I have an oversight role on all operations of council.
Right, fine. Next question.
Does oversight including following up on bids?
On what?
On bids, on the bidding process.
I've never attended a bidding process meeting.
But so why were you at PRAS yourself?
Because we needed an explanation as to why we were not getting approvals of our procurement of an ERP, which had taken 5 years.
Yes.
With us communicating to PRAS and back and forth.
That is the bidding process. Just hold on, in case you are not aware of it, or of the Procurement Act. That is the bidding process, which we were following up on, which had taken long.
5 years?
Yes.
So we were supposed...
We have communications which were going back and forth from your procurement unit to PRAS, spoke resolution year after year. That is the process of procurement. That's why I'm asking why yourself as the mayor.
It's my duty.
Could you not send Mr. Neva or another manager to follow up?
The managers themselves were the problem.
He is a problem.
Yes, there is theft going on at council. We have had no ERP for 5 years.
So are you alleging that the manager, the procurement manager at that point, who is Mr. Neva, had stolen?
Yes.
What did he steal?
They are in and out.
What did he steal?
You must understand.
No, don't say must understand. What did he steal?
The issue is...
You said they stole.
Without an ERP.
No.
What did they steal?
Let's not get there first. You said there was a lot of stealing.
At council, not at procurement.
Right, fine.
Okay. In council, there is a lot of... That's what I want to explain.
The question now is who is stealing or who was stealing?
Why we have been agitated about the ERP is because...
No, who is stealing?
The account staff.
What did they steal?
Money.
How much?
In this first instance, the Auditor General said 200 million, and that we should look for it. Now, it could be more.
What convinced you that it was their department who stole?
The finance department?
Yes. Was a forensic audit done?
The Auditor General said there was 200 million stolen. Bring back BIQ to look for the 200
Did
million.
the auditor say it was because of the finance director, so that we can go back to a report?
The Auditor General said it because you have no you have no ERP, you have gotten rid of the ERP, so we can't identify who has stolen.
So why are you convinced that the ICT people were stealing? Because you said the ICT people were stealing. That's why you were going after the BIQ yourself.
There's stealing in council. Auditor General.
Can you prove it?
Yes.
Were forensic audits done and complaints to the police done over these thefts?
We can't do audits because people have disabled the ERP. That's why we've not had an audit from 2019. It's deliberate by the executive. They are in management paradise.
So you had to follow it up yourself?
Yes, because since 2019, we can't do an audit because we have no ERP.
So what is the duty of the town clerk if you are taking over everything from council?
I'm not taking over. My oversight role.
Your oversight role, taking the role of the town clerk, taking the role of the procurement manager.
Look, I've got a contract.
No, just hold on.
Just answer this way.
Was it necessary, the question, was it necessary for you to go to PRAS when you have got people in the town clerk, people who would have gone to pursue? I answered, wait a minute. When you would have actually have mandated these people to go and follow up on this. The question is, was it necessary? If so,
at this point, it became necessary.
Right.
Why? Why? Because we've been telling them to get that ERP procured from 2019. I came into council.
And they have not done that?
They have not done that.
Good, yeah, fine. Next question.
At one point, they procured one for 54 million, and we objected.
Okay. Right.
So at the current moment, inform us what is happening with the BIQ. Who is your current service provider and what are the terms?
The current service provider is one called Sage. Sage system routinely fails. Sometimes we go for weeks without being able to record transactions.
Right,
Since Sage came in, and then, so now we've got a letter where we were authorized to do a direct procurement to BIQ, and we are being assisted by the ministry to do that so that we comply with the Auditor General's recommendations, and we also comply with the public accounts recommendations.
Yes, next question.
And so do you now confirm or concur with me that it was wrongful for you to go to PRAS yourself and convince them to do direct procurement without the ministry's approval?
No.
Now that the authority has come from the ministry and you failed to get such authority yourself, was it therefore proper?
But I'm the one again who went to the ministry. What happened is, the genesis is that the situation got to a point where our last year's budget, a letter had to be written to me directly by the minister to say that we have declined to approve your budget, and this was reported widely. And one of the reasons that we have failed to approve the budget is that your council is failing to comply with the 10-point plan issued by the president. I then intervened not only on the ERP issues, we had the master plan issue, where I received 2 letters from the minister directly as mayor.
So you can hold on those ones.
Then secondly, I wanted to
Sorry, Mayor, can you hold on those ones? They have nothing to do with my questions. We are also in possession of that memo from the minister to your town clerk, not yourself.
The minister
directed his letter to the town clerk because he knows the role of the town clerk and that of the mayor.
Ministers don't write to town clerks.
Minister wrote to the town clerk, Chisango. Investigators, can you get me the dossier?
The minister writes to the mayor.
With the letter from
the permanent secretary writes to the...
We will produce this in court. There is no need to argue.
All right.
And the fact that there is now a direct procurement and a waiver from PRAS is due to the reasons that the minister engaged PRAS and not yourself.
Oh, and what do you say? What do you say about that?
What do you say about that?
We've engaged all these bodies. We engaged the minister, we engaged parliament, we engaged PRAS. And they did a combined solution.
So it is not true?
It is not true. Yeah.
Right, fine. Mm-hmm.
So now, how far have you gone with the re-engagement of Quell, who's your chosen service provider for the BIQ?
It has gone nowhere up to now.
Right, fine.
They are delaying.
Quell is also delaying.
Not Quell, the procurement people at our city council.
Is that why you put Neva on forced leave with pay?
He wasn't there for this direct procurement, and I'm not the one who put him on forced leave.
Now that he had his charges on a criminal matter withdrawn before plea, what action have you taken to re-engage his services at the council? He's still at home.
Yeah, there are distinct processes here. If you get cleared, we had nothing to do with his charges at the criminal courts. If you are cleared there, you notify a council, but at the same time, you can be subject to disciplinary processes of council, which have a different standard.
Is he facing such?
That is up to the town clerk to decide whether.
No, but answer the question.
He's not. I'm not aware. I'm not aware.
Right.
Not to my knowledge.
Then regarding Chisango, the former town clerk,
Yes.
why is he not yet back in office? We also have evidence that the criminal charges which are being leveled against him were withdrawn before plea.
The charges against him, we suspended him, or I suspended him.
Yes, you did.
Yes.
I thank you for being honest
Yes.
for once. You
Yes.
suspended the previous town clerk yourself.
Yes.
Did you have the mandate?
Yes.
What were the allegations?
I've got the suspension letter. The allegation.
What are the allegations?
What
the
were the
allegation one
allegations?
was the issue of the tender, the flouting of the tender. The second one.
Which one?
Which tender?
The Juluka tender, the 9 million streetlights tender, the flouting of those procedures. The next one was the issue that he has no valid contract of employment. Or is not produced a valid contract of employment, and contrived to create a contract of employment for himself, which has no council resolution and has not been approved by the local government board.
When did you discover about all this?
When I came back into office,
When?
early February last year.
And
Around
all
about
this
5.
while Chisango was the town clerk and you had not raised any issues?
No, I raised the issues.
When?
I think by end of April, I asked the HR committee to ask, the HR committee was supposed to get the executive contracts and their permissions of employment. That's when we discovered that he had fraudulently awarded himself a contract.
Of employment?
Yes.
But all this time he was serving you. Were you not observant of these issues?
His contract was supposed to be renewed in August 2023.
Is it that you just became aware of it in February, or grapes had turned sour between yourself and Chisango?
No.
Because we have evidence that you and Chisango don't see eye to eye. To the extent of you throwing files in his face, chasing him out of full council meeting.
Is this true?
No.
Is this true?
It's not true.
The events of the 1st October,
We didn't.
are they not correct?
I didn't chase him.
You chased him out, didn't you?
No, I advised him that when you are under suspension, you serve the suspension. If you violate the conditions of suspension, you might inadvertently commit another offense.
How about Madzoker? His charges were also cleared, but it is said that you said you do not want to see him at townhouse.
But
And you prefer that he will be paid whilst being at home.
No.
Is it true?
It's
Is
not
it
true.
true?
It's not true.
So all these people at council
You are
are lying against your name.
You're-
Is
you're-
that true?
You're talking about people.
Is that true? Is
They're
that
lying.
true?
If anybody says that, they are lying.
Okay.
Yeah.
So no one likes you there at council. Am I correct?
When I was elected, the councillors were singing. But you can't say no one likes me at council. That's such
What
a
is
broad generalization.
so what has happened now over Mafume?
It is
Since
not.
people are on your case.
Because I'm correcting the wrongs that were there. We have no contract. The town clerk has no contract. The procedure is very simple. When your contract expires, we renew the contract through council resolution. If that's not done, a case in point is the town clerk in Blaawai. If that's not done, you stop work immediately, and then we do the process of renewing your contract as the directive that was then in existence at the time. That process was not followed.
Right.
Okay.
So
What wrong had your driver, what wrong had your driver, your allocated driver? What had he committed when you employed a new driver for yourself?
Did you employ a new driver?
I didn't
who is the
We
name of
received
the driver?
evidence that you employed a new driver when you had been allocated another driver who is in the driver's pool at the council.
Or let's put it this way. The driver who was allocated to you, is he the same driver you're using now?
No, I've had many drivers that I'm using.
So what
We have a pool of drivers.
No.
Yeah.
You're the ones who are allocated to you.
the ones who are allocated to
Maybe
you?
give the name.
Give the name. Who is the one I'm supposed to have removed?
There's
The one who is driving you currently, is he part of your pool?
Yes, he's part of our pool.
And the protocol officer? What is his name?
The protocol officer, Chinoputsa.
Yes, your
Yes.
protocol is.
Yes.
Is there a post for protocol officer to the mayor?
No. To council?
Yes.
Yes, there is.
To the mayor or to council?
To council. The way the council works,
No.
No,
Is there
I'm
protocol
asking
officer for the
you,
mayor
is
or
there
for the
a protocol officer to the
the
mayor?
protocol
or
office
council?
is in
Is
the
there
chambers.
one, yes or
Is
no?
there one?
No.
So you created also a post of the protocol officer to the mayor, Mr. Chinoputsa.
No, there's no one who has the job description, protocol officer to the mayor. It's non-existent.
So what is Chinoputsa's duty
He's
to
a
you?
protocol officer, period. He does our protocol. My protocol, any protocol, whenever he is present.
But he never serves anyone with protocol services except yourself.
No, he does. He serves the deputy mayors, the councillors, anybody who requires the protocol services. If they are traveling out
Was
of
he
the
always
country,
in the protocol office? Tell us
No,
his
he-
history. Where did you take him from? You picked him.
No, I didn't pick him. He transferred their authorizations that he gets. He transferred from the health department to the protocol office.
But the HR department do not have the papers for the transfer. You just woke up in your protocol services.
They have
We
to-
requested for those, we
they
couldn't
have
get
to-
them.
They have to rectify that.
How can they rectify them when
I-
you are the one who insisted that
No,
he should be transferred?
How did I? Do they have a paper of me insisting?
That's why they do not have the transfer papers.
He is a protocol.
If it
officer.
was themselves,
There was an HR, how we do transfers is very simple. An HR meeting is held, there's a record of those minutes. Every transfer that's done is then done through the HR office. And that was done and ought to be done.
but to the contrary, there is nothing to that effect.
Then the person who is responsible for HR issues must be answerable.
And you are
Because
going to fire them by the end today, like you usually do. Are you going to do that?
I'm not going to fire anybody.
You know what, Chair Mayor, we've discovered a trend on your part, that if we give evidence in here, which links to any of your persons in service, the same day you leave this room, you victimize them.
Give examples.
Give examples.
Yes, I'll give an example of Marara's scenario.
And who else?
No, let's deal with Marara first.
Let's deal with him first.
No, I
What
haven't.
happened soon after you left?
I
We
haven't.
are informed that you insisted that Mabena Moyo signs the suspension letter, which he then dodged for some time until he had to request for an opinion from the legal advisor.
I couldn't have insisted that he signs a suspension letter for Major Marara. Major Marara does not have a contract with the city council. He resigned in his first post as the M&E advisor. After resigning from that post, he came back.
Why would you then implement
It
such
wasn't-
issues soon after the
No,
witness testifies?
I wasn't the one who implemented. There was a resolution in December 2018.
The coincidence is too high, Mayor.
No, but
A day after he appeared,
Major Marara, I can.
a day after he appeared, you forced the acting town clerk Mabena Moyo to suspend him, and he asked for reasons why he should be suspended, and you said just find a way to suspend him.
No.
And you quoted his evidence and said, let's liberate him from the council.
That's a lie.
That is also a lie.
Yeah, I never said that to Mabena Moyo.
And the coincidence is too high. A day after he appeared. The coincidence is too high.
Just listen. Don't worry about that.
Don't worry about that one. The coincidence is too high.
I did not. There was a resolution. My position, and that is my considered position. My considered position. There were posts that were created.
We know about the job evaluation. If the one you want to tell us about, we are aware of that. But our question now is...
just answer the question, please.
Yes. We know about the job evaluation.
Just answer the question.
But our worry now is that December, a resolution is passed.
I did not...
No. Answer. Listen very carefully. Very carefully.
Our main worry, Mayor, is that...
Don't anticipate questions. Please, let's behave orderly.
Yes. Okay. Our main worry is that on 30 December, in the previous year, which is 2024, a resolution is passed by committee.
Yes.
Then nothing happens until Marara comes to testify sometime in February. Then a day or two, let me finish. Then a day or two later after he testifies evidence which some people felt was against you, he gets a letter of suspension. Someone is forcing the town clerk to suspend him, reasons not proffered. Then an urgent HR committee meeting is held under the guise of buying stationery and toilet papers. Then terms of reference of the HR committee are changed to facilitate the abolition of the post of Marara. Isn't that coincidence too high?
Do you remember the
there are many
the events?
Yes, the sequence of events is I'm not clear about, because I'm not the one who calls the HR committee meeting. If I had called a council meeting to deal with that issue, the HR meeting is called by the chamber secretary.
Yes, and please note, the chamber secretary's agenda for the meeting was urgent procurement of toilet paper and stationery, not changing the terms of reference of the HR committee. We have that.
Yes, so if a meeting was called for that, then no one, or you cannot change the agenda of the meeting to just like that.
That's what he did. Can you confirm that it was not correct?
That the HR committee chair did?
Yes, Godzi, can you give me that notice for the meeting? It was a notice of the meeting for urgent procurement of toilet paper and stationery, where the HR committee then convened.
Let's start here. The December resolutions, nothing is done. Up to the time quite recently, after he has given evidence here. Is that a coincidence?
The point is that the last meeting of December is the meeting that we close council. So
No, is that a coincidence or just a progression of events?
Yeah, it's a progression of events. It's not a coincidence.
Right.
So what would be your comment if I'm to tell you or to inform you that the chamber secretary called for an HR committee meeting under the guise of an agenda to purchase stationery and toilet paper?
And he changed it.
The HR committee met and made resolutions, changed these terms of reference under that meeting, which then resolved to abolish the post which Marara has occupied for some time now.
That would be false. The post, Major Marara has no post in council. He has no contract.
Sorry, I did not ask you about that. I'm talking about the meeting agenda. The meeting agenda against what then transpired.
That one is not my meeting.
And what is your comment, since you are also a councillor?
That meeting, I didn't call for that meeting. I don't participate in that meeting. and that's not my
And
meeting.
the coincidence is also very high. This was called as an agent meeting on the 29th of January. This is a copy from your chamber secretary. You can read for us the reference of that meeting. What was the call? The agenda?
Is to invitation to attend an agent meeting, critical shortage and absence of printing equipment, accessories and stationery across council departments.
Yes, then you can follow through now. What was resolved? That the HR committee changes its terms of reference.
Two,
You can read, but we won't have time for that. Maybe my colleague can pick for you the issue I'm talking about.
yes, but the way this works, when committees meet, they then bring all what they've decided on, because it's not valid until
So are you saying
see,
council?
Just hold on, let me try to help him. All that we are aware of, but the question is,
Yes.
are you through with reading?
Yes, I'm trying.
Right. Do you know why the terms of references were changed?
I was not part of the
Do
meeting.
you approve of the changes?
I've not been pointed to the changes. I've not read the changes.
She has pointed out to you that is now terms of references were different. Let them show you.
Let me show you where is the difference.
You will pick out
The changes there.
the changes to the HR committee terms of reference and the resolutions which will pass.
We discussed this later, the last time, in detail, and I thought we had explained the genesis of the letter and the reason why.
Yes.
It's in the absence of me being pointed to the
But-
specific issue that has changed.
Yes, but my concern, Chair,
I'm at a loss.
is whether council meetings proceed by way of hidden agendas. You call for a toilet paper procurement meeting, then turns out it will be an HR terms of reference meeting. Is that how your meetings at council are run?
You have not shown me the change.
No.
That's
There
not how it's
is,
done.
Just
there
answer.
is an
Okay.
invitation to attend
That's-
the
that-
meeting.
Is
This
that,
the
how they are?
invitation.
Is that how they are
Is that
run?
how-
No,
they are
the council meetings are done by notice.
So
They-
what is done, what is written down there is not in accordance with your
Yeah,
expectation.
unless the only procedure that a chairman can change, unless there are items that can be brought to the attention of the chair of that meeting, and you do what we call a chairman's consent. So if there is an agendarizing issue which cannot wait for some reason or another, and the chair is convinced that it needs to be discussed, it will then be discussed. But it
But
will
we
be,
didn't see that in the minutes, it does not appear.
it will be, I'm explaining the procedures because I didn't sit in this meeting. For example, if I'm sitting in a council meeting and somebody says that there's damage to Morton Jeffrey, like the last time in December, there was flooding in Morton Jeffrey. If that is raised from the floor, you immediately consent as a chair and say, okay, let's deal with this agent issue.
But would you then abandon your agenda, the main agenda, which called for a meeting to procure tissues and stationery, and then go towards the HR terms
I'm
of
giving you
reference?
the instances where a chairman, to say a chairman,
No, we
But-
understand.
Yes.
can change
We understand.
So it can change.
yes,
A meeting can turn out to become any other meeting at your council.
no.
So what is the purpose of your agenda? According to your legal understanding, you are a legal practitioner, what is the purpose of an agenda?
The agenda is there. Then there's what you call the chairman's consent.
I'm saying, what is the purpose of an
Is to
agenda?
notify everybody so that people prepare and they know what they are coming to meet for.
Yes.
Yes.
So what is the agenda on that letter?
The agenda on this letter is for equipment. So if it dealt, maybe to answer your question, if it dealt with any other issues,
That agenda, was it discussed?
the agenda, no, this agenda,
No, the agenda to do with the procurement of toilet paper, etc.
yes, it was discussed.
Where was it recorded?
I was at the commission during the time when this meeting was happening.
And there are
So-
no minutes.
The only resolution which came out of that meeting was to adopt a new terms of reference for the HR committee.
No, I think you're conflicting meetings. Can you check? This meeting is this meeting is different from this meeting. I think cross-check your facts.
But you have
Right,
agreed
we'll ask
that.
Mr. Gozi to check
Yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Let's move
These
on
are
to another
two. They're
question.
completely two different
Yeah, no,
meetings.
that's fine. Thank
Chair,
you
I'm
very
not
much.
sure if I'm supposed to proceed because I was going to take the
Check.
mayor through the 5 subsidiaries,
Yes, fine.
starting with City Park.
Yes, fine. But in the meantime, just check that and you are.
Yes, we'll check and revert.
Meetings.
Right, let's go to subsidiaries.
But
Okay.
did you still have questions? Because I have got threatening messages that I have
From where?
From when?
Major Marara that he sent
When?
to me.
When?
When?
Let me.
When?
No, just hold on. That's
Hold on.
very crucial.
That's very. No, not in this instance, but in October.
Oh.
Yes. No, I just want.
In October last year,
Yes, on October last year,
was a threat of violence.
there's a picture of a severed head.
But then the threats have not been carried out.
We had not yet called him to testify.
No, just hold on. Threats
Just
have
hold on.
not been carried out.
The threats have. My head is still there, but
No, it's all right. If there are any threats of that nature, you advise the police officers to investigate.
No,
But we are happy that threats have not been carried out.
I'm delighted.
Let's deal with what is before us.
But I'm sure, Chair, that can be testament of a very bad relationship between the two.
Yeah, no, that's fine. We appreciate it. But let's deal with. Let's not be diverted from the main
Yes,
issue.
true. Chair, together with my colleagues, I've agreed that I may hand over to Mr. Mpofu whilst I make my questions really direct, otherwise we're going to spend the whole
Is
week.
he now dealing with the city park issues?
No, we will come back to the theme of the subsidiaries
Oh, yes,
after
we've got
he has
something else to do.
exhausted something else which is coming in between the
Yes,
line
fine,
of
all right.
questioning.
So what is that? You wanted to say something? Don't start talking to them. They'll shout at you. You rather address it to me.
Yes,
If
the last time I appeared, I indicated that I had a trip to Kenya for tomorrow. The flight is this afternoon. It was this morning, but I pushed it to this afternoon.
what is this for?
It's a long-standing.
Is it tenders?
It's just a 2-day thing that we had been invited in my capacity as mayor, which I had made a commitment a long time ago, and they had bought the tickets, and I'll be back by Thursday. But I still can sit for. But I just wanted to alert the chairperson that I.
In other words, you are indirectly asking them to speed up and finish up their questions.
For today.
No, they will not be expedited. They will not expedite it. They will not be stampeded into that.
Okay.
Yeah.
But
Fine.
there
Thank you
was
very much for taking into account.
Yes, I just wanted to check
yeah,
in.
no, I understand. I understand. What time do you want to leave?
It's at 4, probably by 2:30 or 2. Then, unfortunately, my city has got a lot of traffic, but I would want to start off at 2.
You don't have an escort.
Unless I get an escort.
Yes, Mr. Pope. Let's deal with that in the meantime.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much.
And then maybe I could. Then we talk to you about something.
I could do 10 minutes and then we go to your
Yeah,
issues.
fine. All right. Yes. We are going to proceed, provided that you answer truthfully and genuinely. Then we'll also lean towards your request. No, it's just it's a jest.
Yes,
Right.
I'll answer as always.
Thank you very much, Mayor. You have been alluding to the fact that you have an oversight role over the city of Harare,
Yes,
and the buck stops with you, if I were to use that colloquial language.
yes.
Yes, it is in that spirit that my questioning will come.
Okay.
First of all, and I'll give you an indication of what I'm going to look at, so you put your notes in order.
Okay.
We are going to deal with the issue of water and regularization, etc.
Okay.
But I want you to follow up on something that you said during questioning by my colleague here about the loss that the city of Harare has incurred because of the absence of an ERP
Yes.
system. The documents that we have in this commission is that the loss has been quantified, at least by the Auditor General, I believe, at $200 million USD.
Yes.
And during questioning, you alluded to the
So
fact
the
that
loss for how much? For what?
200 million.
Yes, for what?
the loss incurred because of the absence of an ERP system that would track revenue collection and other issues.
Right.
That is correct.
Yes.
And you were interrupted, but I heard you say that. Is it true that you said the loss is actually more than that?
Yes.
Wait. Are you able to give us a figure as to how much the city of Harare has lost because of the absence of an ERP system?
I'm not able to do the figures because management has ensured that there are no audits at council from 2019 to date. So, but we have anecdotal evidence. People, millions are paid, repeat payments. Others, their rates are forgiven.
Let me bring you back to my question. You have said it is more than $200 million.
Yes.
You therefore must have a figure that you wish to proffer to this commission. What is it?
No, I don't have a figure. My evidence is anecdotal because it frightens me that from 2019, from one reason or the other, management and procurement have failed, and I'm beginning to think it's deliberate that they have failed to procure
We
an
will
ERP.
come to that. I want you to concentrate on what I'm asking.
Yeah.
You actually have formed the opinion,
Yes.
which you proffered to this commission unsolicited for, that it's actually more than $200 million.
Yeah, it runs into millions.
So now we want you to assist this commission and say, okay, they say it's $200 million. You say it is more. What could we be looking at?
We could be looking at losses of about 10 million per year.
Which gives you how much?
Which gives us 10 million times.
That man does not work. That man is a lawyer making money elsewhere.
I thought you
Let's talk about
5 years, 2019.
50.
Yeah, about 50 million thereabouts.
No. So how can it be more? It's 50 million when you're talking about 200 million.
No, it's an addition.
Over and above.
Over and above the 200 million.
Okay, so 250 million plus or minus.
You're saying 10 million per year or 10 million per month?
Per year.
Per year, okay. So according to your estimates, we're looking at about $250 million.
Yes.
And this situation has been going on for a period of 5 years, as you have indicated.
Yes.
And during the 5 years, the city has been bleeding.
Hemorrhage.
Thank you. It's been hemorrhaging for these 5 years.
Yes.
Now, side role that you have been telling us about, it obviously extends to your councillors.
Yes.
It would therefore be a fair comment to say that the councillors and yourself, as their head, have allowed this situation to persist for a period of 5 years.
I've tried everything to get an ERP installed at council. I end up being the one accused of interference, but I have tried everything humanly possible to get an ERP at council. We can't function without an ERP.
That is quite understandable. So from your evidence, this is a combination of councillors and officials at the city council who have blocked your efforts to obtain an ERP.
The councillors have been supportive. It took a bit of time for councillors to understand the functions of an ERP or the Auditor General's recommendation. But once councillors understood...
You do not want to sound partisan and political in your approach, and I'm not even talking about party political lines. Are you suggesting that you want to exonerate councillors completely and put the blame squarely on council officials?
No,
Obviously, that's not what you say.
No, that's not.
So that's not what you're saying?
Yeah, that's not what I'm saying.
Right, okay, so let's come back to my line of considering. If you have been trying unsuccessfully, in vain,
I'm now being
accused. And in view of your last answer, in that we cannot totally exonerate councillors, the only reasonable deduction to make from that is that it has been a combination of councillors and council officials blocking efforts for the installation of a new ERP system.
Yes, it's a case of dogs opening their eyes at different times when they are born.
Well, not many people will be able to understand such sophisticated language. Let's come back to a simple answer. The councillors have been complicit in blocking the installation of an ERP system with council officials.
Yeah, some councillors, yeah.
Sorry?
Some councillors, yes. I'm also a councillor.
So I understand the difficulty why you can't answer that because you are a councillor too. But the truth is, councillors have.
Yes, it's a difficult.
Now, let's go step by step. Now that we have established that councillors have also participated in frustrating your efforts, what role have these councillors played in frustrating those efforts?
Well, part of it was, I can't blame them because, well, the first part is exposure. We have different exposure.
Let me park the part where you can't blame them. I want the part where you blame them.
The exposure. Some of them could not understand. They thought they were being persuaded that any system can just come in and take off from where BIQ left off. They could not understand the Auditor General's recommendation. They could not understand the Parliamentary Accounts Committee recommendations. And then some were fearing that, it is just something that maybe is not wanted by the executive.
For whatever reason, the actions that these councillors were taking were detrimental to the interests of the citizens they were serving.
Yes.
For which they are administratively, at the very least, culpable of incompetence towards the approach of their duties.
Well, I wouldn't quite put it like that.
Put it in the way that you think it should be.
Like I said, it takes time for people with different backgrounds to understand the importance of what we will be discussing at that particular moment in time.
If you are unable to appreciate the sophisticated or subjects, or if you are unable to understand the workings of your council that you are serving, should you be serving there?
Well, you shouldn't be.
Very well.
It goes without saying.
So these councillors who didn't understand the importance of an ERP system thereby impeding you from doing your work, shouldn't be councillors because they just don't understand the importance of an ERP.
Yeah, some of them lost elections in the last election. But yeah, I mean, it is important for someone to do what they understand.
Because, Mayor, if you are saying that people have been blocking you, you cannot then go on to exonerate them of any wrongdoing when they have been stopping you from doing the right thing.
Yes, I've just categorized the reasons why some...
All right, so we've established these councillors are unable to comprehend the importance of what is before them. And it is because of that we've reached the stage where we are.
Yeah, some councillors. Yeah.
Okay. But still, as I'm talking to you right now, we do not have an ERP system.
Yeah, now that is the deliberate act of our procurement department and management. They don't want an ERP in place because of all the people in any organization, our executive are in what I call a management paradise. No audits for 5 years. They will find a reason from pillar to post to not implement. Right now, we're given an order to implement this recommendation by the ministry. Last year, about 3 months ago, it still has not been done. They are finding any and every reason. Now the reason is me.
Okay, very well. We go step by step. So these council officials are blocking the implementation of ERP.
Yes.
Why doesn't council, as the oversight board, overrule them?
We have, but now the
Wait. When you say you have overruled them, what have you done as an action of overruling them? Have you made a resolution?
Yes, we've made countless resolutions on the ERP. We have gone to meetings with the ministry. We've gone to meetings with the PRAS. We've gone to meetings with Parliamentary Accounts Committee. We have met every body that has a direct or indirect impact on us as council to say, for as long as we don't have an ERP, we are shooting in the dark.
Very well. During the lifetime of this commission, we have come across multitudes of resolutions
On ERP.
that are passed, on diverse issues. We have resolutions on what is called regularization, a subject that I will touch on later on with you. We have resolutions for the provisions of council stands to councillors. We have resolutions for the provision of commercial stands to a select group of councillors. We have a plethora of resolutions that have come out of City Council over the years. Why is it that, despite all that, we do not have a resolution for ERP?
Oh, we have more than 6. That is the deliberate.
You have them?
Yes.
All the other resolutions I speak of have been implemented.
No,
all the other resolutions I speak of have been implemented. Why has this one not been implemented?
That is where the story is. That is where council has collapsed. That is where most of the money is being stolen. There is no accountability. An organization such as the City of Harare, not bringing back an ERP that had been operating for 11 years and then operating for 6 years without an ERP. That is where the problem is. The management does not want to implement the resolution on ERP. They will implement peripheral issues, except the one that is of. It's like EcoCash operating without a system for a day. We've gone for 6 years.
That is where council has collapsed, were your words.
Yes.
We're sitting here with a council that has collapsed.
Yes, on that score.
And that is the score of revenue collection.
Yes.
All service provision issues are premised. So if that has collapsed, the council has collapsed.
I appreciate your comprehension of this issue.
Thank you.
This is where I was trying to come to. Without an ERP, it's like a bank operating without a system. The council has been doing so for 6 years. They have not been able to do an audit. And I have been a lone voice in saying we need to implement the Auditor General's recommendation, bring back, and I'm happy that the ministry has agreed with me. We are bringing back, but it's being delayed by the Secretariat.
You have been a lone voice to the exclusion of everybody else, including your fellow councillors.
Sam.
Now, is it not in fact a fact that the provision or the installation of an ERP system has not materialized because both council officials and your councillors who you lead
Sam,
have got a pact of corruption whereby they are benefiting from the council's lack of ability to audit its functions accurately?
Some, yeah. When it comes to some executive and some councillors, it's when you.
It is a criminal cartel fleecing the system by blocking the installation of an ERP, and it constitutes of members from both sides of the river, council officials and councillors. Otherwise, it wouldn't succeed.
And that cartel is trying to use the commission to say I should not insist on an ERP. I'm a victim here.
Before we agree on what it's trying to do, let's agree that it does exist.
Yes, it does. Do you know what it does?
So
it's not only finance. If you have an ERP, you can monitor leases. Why is there no record, a computerized record of all the leases that the city council has issued? Why is there no computerized record on graves? Why is there no computerized record on markets? All the functions of a council can be put in a program, computerized issues around giving tickets for municipal. So when I say ERP is the council itself. And all these things are not there deliberately. And because the executive does not want an ERP to come on board. And the
executive and councillors.
Well,
Mayor.
Okay, but I will lean towards the executive because the councillors, I've been able to get resolutions out of them. But the executives have proven a very formidable foe, right to the point that at this juncture, almost a conclusion was carrying the day that we should not force us to have an ERP.
But, Mr. Mayor, Your Worship, you have just testified in this commission that you suspended the town clerk.
Yes, I did.
And the town clerk is the chief executive officer of city council.
Yes.
But you were able to suspend him.
The law allows me to.
You were able to suspend him.
Yes.
Why have you not suspended these executives that are acting as a barrier to the establishment of the ERP?
They have created a procedural firewall between myself and them. That's why they are saying that
What firewall? This firewall didn't stop you from suspending the town clerk.
No, the town clerk could not because the Act allows me to suspend him in specific words. Now the other ones, I have to they have to be suspended through their superior. So if you are a finance director or anybody, you have to be suspended through your boss, cascading downwards. You cannot be suspended.
And all of them answer to the town clerk.
Yes.
And the town clerk can fire all of them.
Yes.
And you can fire the town clerk.
As I've done.
But you want to tell us that you are unable to fire these executives that are blocking you from establishing what you've been fighting for years.
If I had authority to write the letters, a whole lot more people would have been dealt with by now. Because the situation, like I have chronicled, the gaps that are there, in my view, the executives have created gaps of lack of accountability, which allows for loopholes. And the sad thing is that we have readily available IT solutions for those problems.
No, you see, we're looking, I'm writing on your evidence. And I'm writing as what you have defined as your role, which is oversight.
Yes.
And all these things, where you have not taken action, are ascribable to yourself ultimately. And your councillors, but yourself ultimately.
Yes, it's to me ultimately. That's why.
But it stops with you.
It stops with me.
Now, if you have been trying for 5 years and you have not succeeded, on what basis can citizens expect that someday you will succeed?
No, I succeeded this year.
We don't have an ERP.
No, but the ministry wrote a letter. Everybody has agreed that we must procure an ERP, and we are being assisted by the ministry. And I'm sure that by the end of this month, that contract will have been signed.
All right, let me
If not next week.
Before I move on.
So that one I've succeeded.
Before I move on, no, we don't have it.
It's coming this week.
The truth of the pudding is in the eating.
I'm proud of the work that I've done, and I've.
Now, before we move on, I think what we've established from this discussion between yourself and me is that indeed the lack of an ERP is not as a result of some natural event or something outside people's...
No, it's deliberate.
It is actually a deliberate, very costly, and has been committed by a combination of councillors and executives. We have established that.
And at one point, they tried to foist a $57 million ERP on council, which I resisted.
I'll move on to the next issue. There is an issue which is of concern to residents of Harare, and this is an issue of the proliferation of service stations.
Yes.
I will refer you to one, which perhaps, in my own opinion, there may be others, demonstrates the irregular manner in which these service stations have been allocated land. And that is one at the corner of Tyrone Avenue and Tyrone Street and West.
Is it Agile?
Just before Argyle.
Okay.
There was one in Argyle. But there's one corner Tyrone, Tyrone.
Okay.
And West.
Yes, yes.
Which is, again, I find it convenient to use the colloquial term, smack bang in the middle of a residential area.
Yes.
Its very next neighbor is a residential place on the right. Its very next neighbor behind it is a residential stand. And on the other side, its very next neighbor after the road is a residential stand. In other words, what has happened at that location is that a house has been partially demolished in the middle of the street, literally, and a service station put there. Are you aware of that?
No, I've seen, I've gone past the place. I'm as shocked as you are.
Yes, and you would agree with me that that situation is irregular.
Yes, it's irregular. I would agree with you that it is irregular.
Yes. And that actually what that does is that it jeopardizes, it puts neighbors in mortal danger. Should anything happen to fuel tanks that store fuel underground, explosion, fire, etc.
Yeah, the consequences are ghastly.
Yes, should a neighbor have a braai and, there's an explosion, you would agree with me?
Yeah.
Now, can you take us as the commission through what has been happening, the corruption that has been happening in the proliferation of these petrol stations throughout?
Okay. All right. Recently, on the last council, we issued a moratorium on all service stations so that we will be able to investigate what is happening. Every time I inquire, I'm made to understand by our planning department that there is a policy of what they call coming up with development corridors. Now, these development corridors bypass the normal, allows the owners to then bypass the normal channel of of getting those things approved. So once it's done, so what business people do is that they will identify an area, say a road, which is a thoroughway. They then say, we want to come up with a new development area plan for that area. Hidden in that consultative process are a lot of things that you can't pick as residents, because someone sponsors a development plan. Let's say comes to the planning department and says, okay, I live on this road, Samora Machel, we want to do a new area development plan in terms of the act. But what they then do is, as they are planning, certain uses are then strategically placed within that plan.
Very well. In fact,
Right, just hold on. Let's bear in mind that he has to catch a plane.
okay.
We have to postpone this matter. You come back on Thursday.
Yes, I'm flying back on Thursday.
No, it won't help us to come only to sit on Friday and we adjourn. We'll postpone this matter to to Tuesday next week, which is the 18th.
Okay.
This matter is postponed to the 18th of February at 900 hours for the continuation of this matter.
Thank you.
Right. But before you leave, I want to say the following. It has come to the attention of this commission that members of the public, through some social media and through some media houses, this commission has made an apology for imputing some wrongdoing on the part of the mayor, who is currently giving evidence before this commission. We would like to put the record straight that this commission has not directly or indirectly made any apology to the mayor and to any other witness who has given evidence before us. The correct position is that the mayor is still giving evidence, and the commission will not tolerate anyone who is trying to directly or indirectly peddle falsehoods which are calculated to intimidate, threaten, or influence on the persons who are charged with investigating this matter or giving evidence before this commission. These false reports are designed to influence the thinking of all those charged with the investigations and those who are charged with the determination of this commission, which is this commission. Sorry. Are you okay? Is this biblical omen? That those who are lying, may they cleave to their tongues.
A pillar of salt.
There you are. We would like to make it clear that all and sundry that this commission will not yield to any such whims and caprices by all those who are desirous to derail this process. Further to that, the members of press are advised to make sure that they report correctly and professionally the proceedings of this commission. The members of public, or Zimbabweans in general, and the residents of Harare and the ratepayers are entitled to hear the truth of what's going on. We have not made any determination about any evidence which has been laid before us. Therefore, it is improper for people to import any wrongdoing or any conclusions about what is going on. We want to treat all people fairly and honestly in accordance to the oath of office which we undertook before His Excellency. Therefore, we would like to warn you very, very strongly that in as much as the press has freedom to report, but they should do so properly, because if they now overstep the mark, there is a danger that they'll be visited with litigation. And we don't want to do that. We want people to remain honestly and report properly. I hope I've made it quite clear. Yes, thank you. Yes, Mr. Woods.
Honorable Chair, I made another observation. He came across a social media clip wherein His Worship the Mayor was being interviewed by members of the press in connection with these proceedings, and I'm requesting the Honorable Chair to have the witness warned that in as much as he's free to exercise his freedom of speech, freedom of expression, that should not lead to the matter under discussion. Thank you.
Yes. Yes, if this is true, Mr. Mafume, you know very well that you are under oath and you are not supposed to be discussing this matter with the press. In as much as you would want to tell them one or two things, there is a danger that you may be misunderstood. And we don't want a court of public opinion to influence us, and we will not do so. Let us remain respectful to the process and the proceedings until the matter is finalized. Thank you. Having so said, bon voyage.
Thank you so much.
There's a material